Okay, it's been sunny and about 75 today, and I'm getting ready to go chip some balls, but I saw something today that I wanted to share with you. One of my colleagues, his name is Vaynerchuk, he's one of the leading experts in digital and social media, and especially how to use it in business. And he said something today I'm going to let stand by itself. It's a clip, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and let you watch it, and then we'll comment on it afterwards.
Hey, Nicole.
You alluded to the breakdown between church and state.
Yeah.
And could you just talk about that a little bit
Yeah.
more and what you mean?
Good catch, because I think it's really interesting. I haven't totally gotten all the way there yet because it's such a big thought and it's a little bit smarter than I am, but something interesting is brewing. I actually live in my mind in a world where Nike is ESPN's competitor. I actually think that Neiman Marcus is really the competitor Vogue should be worried about. So here's what I mean by that. I think brands and commercial entities are going to get into the content game very heavily. I think content is the cost of entry of doing business in our future world. And I think because there's so many voices, because there's interns in the office, there's flip cams and iPhones, that you really can't get away, or at least you've got to really be ballsy to try to get away with doing the wrong thing. Nike, if they're going to cover sports, I think we're all very aware that they have LeBron and this, we'll know who they rep, right? And if they wanted to steer the story towards their athletes, we would call them out and they would lose. If I wanted to peddle wine on Wine Library TV, I've had a lot of people fired, that stock guys that knew what I was, salespeople that used to call on me that now call on my competitors, right? We're living in a transparent world. If I ever put a wine on there that I bought 500 cases of and raved about it, I'd be putting myself in a bad spot. Which is why even in 2006, after about 25 episodes, I'm like, wait a minute, I can't put anything on this show that I have any kind of inventory of. So everybody's like, oh my God, Gary, when you rave about a wine, it sells out so fast. Yeah, because we don't put any wine on the show that we have more than 5 cases of. I want no commercial interest that I can help. At least, even if I know I'm real, I don't want anybody to have an excuse. So I think that as this church and state line blurs, as we get to a place where we don't think people can really pull the wool over our eyes, plus we have so much information, I think people like Nike and any brand you can imagine, Cartier, why should Cartier advertise in, a high-end men's magazine? Why shouldn't they be the high-end men's magazine? The whole Hulu play, I could see Neiman Marcus, Saks, and, whoever else is in that space teaming up, Nordstrom's teaming up and maybe creating a Vogue-like property. I see it in a big way. I think it's coming because they're in a position to do it, right? They have a lot of leverage. You want to get designers to be interviewed and contribute content and hustle? Guess what? Be the freaking stores that sell that shit. You've got leverage. If I can get any wine personality right now, we're taking a product switch with Corked. We're about to become much more content-driven on this theory. We want to become the ultimate wine playground for information, and the reason is because I can get anybody. Because I can get any interview, Francis Ford Coppola, done. So that's what I mean. I think it's going to get very interesting. I think in the next decade, I think brands are in the content business.
Okay, the reason I like this video is that Gary Vaynerchuk is one of the industry's leading experts on digital and social media and how to best utilize it for business. He consults with the NHL, he consults with Campbell's, he consults with Fortune, and what he said in that video is something that I first said to someone about 1.5 years ago. So, Gary, thanks a lot for allowing me not to look totally crazy in saying that brands are going to start being their own content providers. The reason that brands are going to start being their own content providers has a lot to do with the efficiency level of today's advertising as it relates to today's brands. Today's brands have to spend a lot of money to get an audience that somebody else had built to try to sell to that brand. And that audience isn't custom built for that brand, and it's kind of a best guess scenario, kind of a fuzzy, not sure if this audience is perfect for us. They use these demographics data to try to figure out what type of audience is best for a certain brand, and the brand buys that audience. Well, today, brands are going to start building their own audiences, and they're going to start custom building their own target market that they can then market into through their own media channels. And they're going to start delivering their own content to be able to do that. And what's going to happen is that brands are going to spend a lot less on advertising because they're going to have control of their own viewers, their own audiences, to be able to deliver brand-specific messages into those audiences in a way that is perfect for their business needs. And so that's why I love this video. Anyway, just wanted to get that out to you. I got to go chip some balls before the sun goes down. Talk to you soon.